Hello, Mike Simon here, and today we're going to go ahead and put in our main bearings on the block. As you see, I'm starting on the front upper bearing with the oil hole. It's really critical that you put the half of the bearing that has the hole in it and align them with the hole in the block, as this is how the oil passes through the bearing and gets to the crankshaft. They actually have little grooves on the right hand side. If you see them, you actually just push them in there and they will seat nicely, and you'll be able to adjust them by moving them a little bit to align the hole. Now that I put the tops in, I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom main bearing in. As you see, these are flat. There's no drilled holes. Again, they have a slot in them as well, so you just want to make sure they're lined up and pushed in promptly. Now when you put your caps on, it's very important to make sure that they're facing to the front. You will actually see on the end caps it's stamped an arrow pointing towards the front. So it's very critical that you put these in right. Now that I have all the caps on and the bolts hand tightened, next I'm going to go ahead and just tap them lightly with a rubber mallet or hammer to make sure that they're seated down all the way, because you don't want to put any torque or foot-pound torque on the bolts if the caps are not pushed down solid with the block. So as you'll see in the bottom left and right corner of the ends, there's a slight gap that you want to fill by just tapping them and letting them sit into the block. Next step is I'm going to go ahead and torque all of these down to specifications of 70 foot-pounds of torque, which is recommended for the Chevy small block 4-bolt main. My bolt sizes are the same on the inner and outer, so there's no difference in the foot-pounds of torque. Normally it's 70 for your inner and it's 65 for your outer, but I'm doing 70 all the way around since they're the same size bolts. The reason I'm going ahead and torquing all these down is basically seating these main bearings and pressing them in there for a tight fit. Now that I have all the end caps torqued down on the main bearings, what this does is it seats them, like I said. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a regular wrench and back these out, and then so we can get working on getting the crank in. I want to thank all you guys for following me on this wonderful engine build. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next part.